The Kids News Network. I'm Melanie Rayner. Last week we promised that you'd get an up-close look at a local ministry in Nashville, Tennessee that is following Jesus by loving their neighbors well. Because of our situation with COVID-19, today we got one of our KNN reporters, Jordan Ferris, with some folks at Preston Taylor Ministries on Zoom to talk about some of the ways they're doing this. Jordan?
Thanks, Melanie. I'm here with Nina Borum and Jacan Thompson, two of the staff members at Preston Taylor Ministry. Let's jump right in. Nina, can you tell me about what you guys are doing at Preston Taylor Ministries?
Yes, thank you so much for having us here. At Preston Taylor Ministries, we want our students to know that they have a purpose and that the God that created them has put dreams inside of them to glorify Him. And so a few of the ways that we do that is through mentorship, through academic support, and simply just exposing them to things that let them know that there's so much more out there. And due to our dedicated staff and our faithful volunteers, we can walk alongside of them and build those relationships that really matter.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Can you tell me something, some things that you guys are doing with your elementary students, Nina?
Yeah, so elementary students are kind of our sweet spot. We do have many other programs, but most of the students that we serve are in elementary school. So Monday through Thursday, they're spread across sites, they're in small groups. We're doing literacy intervention. We're helping them grow socially and emotionally. We're helping them with their homework. And on Fridays, we get really wild, okay? So we call that Fun Friday. And students, yes, students are exposed to art classes and STEM and drama. And even on the weekends, we have sports teams. So we have just a really robust program for our elementary students.
Wow, that sounds awesome. All right, that's really great. We also have Jacan here who works with our middle school students. Can you tell us some of what you and your volunteers do with your fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth graders?
Yeah, so like Nina said, elementary school is probably the biggest and robust part of our organization. But the next closely behind that is middle school. And we do a lot of the same things because we believe what we have for the elementary school is the same for middle school. And so we do provide mentors for our middle school students. They come after school Monday through Thursday. We do reading intervention, social emotional learning. We also play sports. So a lot of what we do with the elementary school, we just transfer right on to our middle school kids. But I would say just because I work with the middle school, I'm a little more biased. I think we have just a little bit more fun at middle school. That's what I would add to that.
I like the healthy competition. That's good. That's good. The more fun, the better. Okay, what's one of your favorite things you do with your middle school students?
Yeah, one of my favorite things is that we pair our middle school students with adults, caring adults, and they come from all different walks and backgrounds. And what I love about that is they provide a different perspective that our students have never experienced before. And it's an extra measure of care that our students have as they walk through life. So for me, when we get to pair our students with a one-on-one mentor, I think that's one of my favorite things that we do.
That sounds awesome. Now, I know you guys also do things with high school students, and Terrence wasn't able to be with us today. So maybe, Jacan, can you tell us a little bit of what happens with high school students at Preston Taylor?
Yeah, I'd love to. So high school takes on a different animal, if you will, because they're starting to get to that place where they're going to enter into the world next. And so we get a little more narrow and specific with high school. We do provide them with mentors. We do talk about social emotional learning. But I think one of the newer programs that we started is it's called Next Steps. And that's really a program that focuses on our high school juniors and seniors to help them think through their next step after high school. And so think of it like a college and career program. So we match each high school student with a mentor, and then they hold them accountable. They help them set goals. We take them on college trips. And we really want to make sure they're not only prepared, but they're excited about their life after high school.
That sounds awesome. I know I would have benefited with somebody who could have walked along shoulder to shoulder with me right finishing up high school, entering into college. That is awesome. So, about how many like middle schoolers and high schoolers come to these various activities and programs? And about on average, how many people does that take for your middle school and high school programs?
I'll hand that off to good old Nina.
So I would say in the past, before COVID, we were serving about 300 students, okay? And that included the elementary students, the middle school students, and the high school students. With that amount, we needed about 200 different volunteer roles a week, okay? So things have slowed down a little because we've lowered our capacities to be safe, but we still have a huge need for volunteers to come, specifically mentors, because that specific role, that is someone who walks with the student long after they have left PTM in many cases. And so those are the volunteers that are like, you know what, we're not going anywhere. We want to be here for a while. So there's plenty of opportunity to get plugged in each week.
Wow, thank you so much for being here with us, both of you guys. You've given us a really big picture of what loving your neighbor looks like. And there you have it, folks. Preston Taylor Ministry is up and running, even in the middle of a pandemic, even if it looks a little different. And that takes a lot of people to build relationships with kids and keep them moving and going and doing the good work. So back to you, Melanie.
Thank you for that great report, Jordan. Next up, we have breaking news from our Bible reporter. Let's go to Miss Joy, who has a big story about a small man named Zacchaeus.
Thanks, Melanie. Well, this is certainly an exciting breaking news story. I'm so glad I'm here on the scene to tell it. Well, there was a man named Zacchaeus. He's over here. He's the rich man. He probably had a big house and nice clothes. The people in Zacchaeus' town had to pay their tax money to him. But Zacchaeus took more tax money from the people than he was supposed to take. Zacchaeus was not honest. It was wrong for Zacchaeus to take money that did not belong to him. Well, it just so happened that one day Jesus came to town where Zacchaeus lived. The people crowded the road waiting to see Jesus. I think I'll go along too, said Zacchaeus. I want to see Jesus. So he hurried to the road where Jesus was walking. But when Zacchaeus got there, he could not see Jesus. Zacchaeus wasn't very tall, you see, and there were so many people who had come to see Jesus that even when he stood on tiptoe, Zacchaeus could not see over them. But then Zacchaeus had an idea. He started running down the road. He kept running until he came to a big tree. How many of you like to climb trees? Well, Zacchaeus climbed up that tree. From his place in the tree, Zacchaeus could see over everybody. He could see Jesus coming down the road. Jesus was getting closer and closer. Then Jesus stopped right under the tree Zacchaeus was in. Zacchaeus saw Jesus looking up at him. Jesus called, Zacchaeus! The people in the crowd were surprised. How did Jesus know Zacchaeus' name? Why would Jesus even talk to Zacchaeus? Come down from the tree, Jesus said. I want to stay at your house today. Well, Zacchaeus was very happy. Zacchaeus was surprised that Jesus talked to him, but he was very glad that Jesus wanted to come to his house. Zacchaeus quickly climbed down the tree, and Jesus and Zacchaeus walked to Zacchaeus' house. The people around the tree began to grumble, and they didn't think Jesus should go to Zacchaeus' house. They didn't like Zacchaeus because he had taken their money. Jesus walked with Zacchaeus to Zacchaeus' house. While they were at Zacchaeus' house, Zacchaeus said, Jesus, I want to give back the money that I stole from people. In fact, I'll give them back more than what I took. And I'll give half of what I own to the poor people too. Oh, Jesus knew Zacchaeus was sorry for the wrong things he had done. Jesus was so glad to forgive Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus knew that Jesus loved him, and Zacchaeus loved Jesus. Well, Jesus took the time to stop, just like the Samaritan did in last week's story when he helped the bruised and battered man. Even when other people turned their backs on Zacchaeus, Jesus saw that Zacchaeus needed his help, and he went to his house. He ate a meal with him, and he built a friendship with Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus could tell that Jesus really loved him, and it changed his life. You know what? I'm going to think this week about how I can be more like Jesus. How about you, kids? This is Joy Alms reporting for Kids News Network. Back to you in the newsroom, Melanie.
Friends, Jesus showed us an example in this story about how to love others and what a difference it makes in their lives. That's what the volunteers are doing at Preston Taylor Ministries. They're taking time to stop their normal activities in order to go spend time building a relationship that encourages kids and youth and helps them know they are loved. It can change someone's life. Well, for our last segment in today's newscast, we're going to go to our sportscaster, Miss Jordan Bear, to tell us about a fun activity you and your family can do together. Jordan, take it away.
Hey friends, it's Jordan reporting live for KNN, live from the sports gym. Today, you're going to make a fun prayer card, right here, with a magnet on it to remind you to pray for Preston Taylor Ministries. You should have these supplies from your envelope, a laminated prayer card and a magnet strip, and you'll also need a permanent marker if you can find one at home. If not, you can try a regular marker, but it might wipe off. In your user guide, you'll find several prayer requests straight from Preston Taylor Ministries. Read them out loud and choose together as a family one or two of the requests that you'd like to commit to pray for. Have someone write these requests on the card, like so, or if you're a little one, you can draw a picture that will remind you of it. Be sure to stick the magnet on the back. So they have stickies on the back of them. Stick the magnet on the back and put it somewhere you'll see it and can remember to pray, maybe at breakfast or dinner or bedtime, whenever your family prays together. In a week or so, you can use rubbing alcohol to erase your card and choose a different prayer request. You guys, have fun! Back to you, Melanie.
That wraps it up for today. Next week, we're going to talk to some rock stars from Christ Presbyterian Church who are spending some of their time volunteering with Preston Taylor Ministries. We also have a surprise for you with some of Christ Presbyterian's own kids. We'll see you then. Have a great week.
Okay, friends, it is now time to add another hymn to our mix. So let's see, we have learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be our 7th hymn. How awesome is that you guys are learning awesome old hymns, but also adding some motions to it. So that's really exciting. So today we're going to learn the song, All Creatures of Our God and King. And the best part about it is we're learning some sign language motions that we've never done before. So keep a close eye out. But if you can't really get it the first time, don't worry about it. You can rewatch the video and learn it until you feel really great about it. So with all that said, let's get started.
Now
Awesome job, friends. You've learned your 7th hymn, So Way to Be.